Was that just me?
All right, welcome in. Mr. Rob, what's going on, buddy? We are outside. We're going inside Bellagio now. You missed us. We were just over on TikTok a little bit ago. I'm going to show you guys real quick the Bellagio Conservatory. They got quite a bit done here. No pushers today. No pushers today. There's our piano bar that we love so much. That's a great spot to chill out. The piano bar. Listen to the piano. Some drinks, some snacks. Yeah, we were on TikTok a little earlier, just for about an hour. There's the guy with the. We'll have to stop there again, Rob. So welcome in, chatters. We are going to go check out and see how much they have done of the new spring display. Joe, what's going on, buddy? This opens up on Friday, March 13th at 3 p.m. So we're going to get over here, get a pretty good view from over on the side here. Ryan, what's going on, buddy? So they got the barricade up, but they are getting quite a bit done here. 2 months for Rob. We'll be at the Flamingo. Rob's going to take care of the Flamingos. He ain't going to pull none of that crap. So this is looking actually pretty good. It is pretty toasty out here today. It is about 74, I think the temperature is right now. So this is looking really nice. Let's go take a walk around the side. We can actually get in a little bit over by Siddell's. We can see a little bit, excuse me. So here's the renderings. March 13th. Hit 70 Chicago yesterday. Nice. Snow for Monday. That is crazy. So the renderings are pretty nice. This is going to be a beautiful display. And then Kristen, what's going on? So I just posted a little sneak peek too on the shorts and on TikTok. They still are doing a lot of work here. I need to stop and get a coffee today too. Imagine that. Tiffany, it is going to be beautiful. You can see already what it's looking at. What dates are you coming out again, Rob? I think you might be here for the summer display. So it's about 6 weeks. You know what? We're going to have to check into that for you, Rob. Is this the wind? Murakami, very funny. I know that carousel is very wind-like. Murakami, real quick, what are the dates for this? March 13th until when does this one end? They have this huge stained glass up in the back here. I would say yes, they are Easter eggs. This does not go all the way until September. Summer is, okay, there we go. I missed that you put the spring one. I just saw September. I was like, uh-oh. Well, you'll be here for the summer one then. Well, hopefully this summer one is a lot better than last year's summer display. Now, this is the garden table area right here. They put it back over by Sibel's. This one, it really gives you some privacy, a lot better than the Lunar New Year one gave us. Yeah, I hope they don't bring the zebras back, right?
Yep.
So do we got any Bruno Mars fans in the chat right now? If you're a Bruno Mars fan, put Bruno in the chat. I got something really cool to show you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, the zebras were cool. They were a little bit, you know, a little bit crazy. How you doing? So that is really cool. I love that. Symphony Spring, 313 to 516. And then you said 523. 523 is one of my kids' birthdays, which is crazy. I'll have to bring them here and tell them that we had the display made just for their birthday. All right, so for you Bruno fans, let me show you this right here. Look at this. They got Bruno Mars made out of flowers here. Some white roses, some black roses, some vines for the hair. How cool is that, man? May 24th is Rob's birthday. Awesome. We'll let this guy get his picture. About 45 seconds to take a picture there. Jeez. So yeah, I guess they look like Easter eggs or like Fabergé eggs, right? Remember the Fabergé eggs? Now we did see these birds in the past used on different displays. Hey E, what's going on? Joanna, welcome back. All right. You guys want, I'm putting together, so when I did my little break in between the TikTok and YouTube live streams, I did a little bit of video here, so I'll have a nice video coming out maybe tonight. I'm gonna try to do this now. JL, what's going on, buddy? 18 more days for AE to be out here. Awesome. We're gonna have to hang out a little bit this time, man. We had a short visit last time. All right, so where should we go get coffee? Which way do you guys want to walk? You guys want to walk down the strip? You guys want to check out some, give me some ideas where we want to go today. So I made, me and Jay, we were out last night. We did some content, which is in various stages of editing after I got home last night. We're going to go take a walk down the strip. We're going to walk south on the strip, I think. How about we walk south on the strip? Yeah, definitely send me a message, man. JL, yes, it still will be triple digits the first week of September. We had triple digits all the way into October last year. And in 2024, I think that was the first time that we've had triple digits in October for a while. So the first 2 weeks of October have been getting a lot warmer too. So this is the glass Chihuly ceiling inside the lobby at Bellagio. This is an art installation. It cost around $10 million when it was installed. 1010s, right? It'll be 109, 1010. Tiffany, welcome in, welcome in. It's been really warm the past week or two. It's been kind of cool at night, so it's been it's a little bit wonky. Like going to work in the morning, I'm a little bit chilly, but coming out in the afternoon, I'm like, I need to get this work shirt off. Oh, Rio for cheesesteaks. So last night on the way home, me and Jay, we stopped in Chinatown. She got herself a smoothie, and I went to this place called Lee's Sandwiches. I got this BLT, and it was so good. It was so good. Hey, it's the push me doors. Joe, no pushing, buddy. I'm not really opposed to doing like a walk one day over to get a cheesesteak at Rio, to tell you the truth. Visit 3 November, you're going to have a lot cooler temperatures, but you're going to have the F1 debacle. So really, if you want to come out and not really deal with F1, you got to do it like the first week of September. So from like the first week of September, right after Labor Day is when they start F1 construction, and it doesn't get deconstructed all the way up until like New Year's. Yeah, we're gonna have to go grab some coffee. Good Korean barbecue. There's what I just saw it last night, and I was saying that we should stop there one night. There's actually a pretty decent Korean barbecue right here on the side of Planet Hollywood at the Miracle Mile. There's a good Korean barbecue there. Yeah, we're gonna go get a coffee. Where should we get the coffee at today? Should we do Hello Kitty since we're gonna walk south? That's probably what we should do then. We don't want a cranky Jimmy, right? You know, it's funny. Everyone laughs because like I walk around work and I got a coffee cup with me all the time, except, you know, when it's not appropriate to have it. I have it on my cart, all that stuff. And guys are like, I can't believe none of the bosses ever say anything to you. I'm like, I think they realize that if I don't have my coffee, I can be very, very cranky. And they don't want a cranky James. So, you know who really knows about the Korean barbecue? He's on TikTok, is Las Vegas Michael. He does a lot of like that food review stuff. I don't really like to give real opinions on what's the best food in town because my tastes are very much different than a lot of other people's taste, and I'm not a food critic. You know what I mean? Like if it tastes good to me, it might not taste good to you. So I don't really like to go down that route. I like to kind of just say, hey, the food was good, the vibe was cool, pretty good place to check out type of thing. South Point Garden Buffet has made to order Mongolian style food. I got to check that out. That would be cool. Now, normally I take that walkway up there. That walkway connects you from right outside of the lobby area at Bellagio and is elevated. You get a nice view of the fountains at night. And it's usually not that crowded. Trust me, Joe, I'm always eating. I just don't tell everyone where I eat. Like, you know, that sandwich place in Chinatown I went to last night, Lee's Sandwiches, it was a really good BLT. Like, I mean, you can't really mess up a BLT, but, you know. Yeah. What do you need directions for, Rob? You know, let me know what you need help with directions, and I can, like, I'll make you like a little print up of like where to go. So, Fonda, what's going on? Now, I'm a lot more comfortable telling people where to get good coffee, things like that, because I love my coffee. So, you know.
I forgot to text you one time that I read like
All right, so we got Cosmo right in front of us. Now, I got a video you guys want to check out, right? A lot of people make a mistake when they're walking the strip like we're walking right now, and they get to Cosmo, right? So you got to go check that video out, give it a watch. You don't really want to go past, you don't want to go to past Cosmo because you're going to hit some steps. And then you're going to have to walk up steps. So just follow what we're doing right now, and well, actually go check the video out, but you'll see what the gist of that video is there too. Yeah, Rob does need a tour guide. April 28th, they're counting down the days. How many days is April 28th? Let me take a guess at it. So we're today. Where are we at? You're about like 58 days away. Vonda, is that right? Or did I just really mess that up? Oh, he's going to get hit with that. You don't want to do that. 49 days, 49 days. So this is like the mirror, right? Everyone does their fit checks and stuff. I'm not wearing nothing really super nice today. Just a t-shirt, pair of jeans, Phillies hat. I like to show you, if you guys want to see, I'll flip the camera around for you, right? Give you a, there we go. Phillies hat, t-shirt, pair of jeans. That is pretty much my my go-to outfit. All right, so you don't want to take the steps. You have to come into Cosmo here and at Chandelier Bar. Let's go ahead on up the escalator, and that's going to take us to the pedestrian bridges. So that'll save you a lot of hassle if you're not into walking up steps. I'm not really up for walking a lot of steps today. So 51 days, Grammy, what's going on? We were talking about this earlier about how the benefits of being able to come through and just kind of not have to do a floor tour. It makes it so much nicer. Grammy, how you been? KJ coming out the end of the month. Awesome. Where are you going to be staying? So what's everyone's favorite spot to stay when you come out here? If, like, I know some people like to resort hop, right? They like to try a different spot every trip. If you had only one place that you could stay, and once a year when you came to Vegas, what place would that be? You're going to get yourself a spa, right? Staying at the Link. I like the Link. The Link's rooms are a little bit on the small side, but they're really nice. You know, I heard they're pretty quiet too, because it's kind of set back from the Strip, unless you're on the side where Carnival Court is. New York, that's your go-to. Nice. Park MGM, Grand, nice. They're all good. They're all good properties. So what we just did by doing that little walkthrough there is we avoided these steps. Now, if all these people that are walking up the steps would have went to my YouTube channel and watched that video, they wouldn't be walking up the steps right now. Right, we got somebody's favorite, the Venetian. We got the Flamingo. Gonna do the spa over at the Flamingo. Nice. What kind of treatments you gonna get? I highly recommend getting a scalp treatment if you're into like scalp treatments, man. Like, me and Jay have been invited to a few different scalp bars, and I love getting scalp treatments. Aria, nice. Going to see the Wizard of Oz, nice. Wizard of Oz is really cool. I had a lot of fun. I thought it was really good. There was a couple scenes that they cut down that I thought they should have left as longer scenes. But overall, I think it was a great experience to see that. Now I have another video that talks about these steps over here, and I really don't feel like taking these steps either. So go check out that video. Now we did a couple rideshare videos last night to help you guys navigate the different rideshare taxi areas. They will be out this week. And I also did a walkthrough how to get from Excalibur to Mandalay totally indoors, which is going to be essential watching if you're coming out here in the summertime. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos about how to get around indoors and get to places. I have not seen Mad Apple. All right, real quick here, guys. I'm gonna flip this around. As we walk through here, we are in. So just bear with me. It's only about like a 2-minute walk. So if we start to lose, get to the other side. So I have not seen Mad Apple. I really want to see Mad Apple, but I really want to see Ka. Ka might be the next Cirque show that I go see. So just kind of bear with us here if we start. They still have the lunar display up too. I have a video on the Lunar New Year too. This was a really nice display, a nice, quiet, calm display for Lunar New Year's. All right, we should be getting good now. It's just right when you get to the middle, it kind of. Aroma Retail. So me and Jay, we are affiliates for Aroma Retail. Go check out those links Murakami put up. That's where you can get your favorite hotel scent. If it's the shops at Crystals, if it's Aria, if it's Vidara, which is one of my favorites, Mandalay Bay, one of my favorites. They have all the scents, the oil diffusers to send them scents out throughout your house. They have different size machines. Use our code NeonCity to check out and get 20% off. It is nice and cool in there, Rob. So we're gonna do another video, and we're gonna get basically some of the back ways. So where do you guys want to head to now that we're heading south? Is there something specific that you'd all like to see? I mean, we just did the baseball stadium last week. I don't know if there's much difference going on there, but you know, you got 70 there today. Nice break from the cold that you had over the winter, huh? I mean, it was pretty cold out here this winter too. I mean, we were like in the 50s and stuff, you know, freezing cold. Had to break out the puffer jacket on a few occasions. Now, has anyone ever stayed here? This is the Waldorf. Me and Jay had stayed here one time for 2 nights. I got a great deal through a work program, and it was amazing. The rooms in there are amazing. And it's all valet parking too, which it was all right. You know, I forget how much the valet was, $40, something like that. Jay, you want to walk down to the Vegas sign? Let me think about that real quick. What time is it? I don't even know what time it is. I forgot to do my watch. So it's 1:41. So my watch is still on regular time, not daylight savings time. You got 84 in Charlotte, North Carolina. You guys are warmer than us today. What's the humidity like there, Vonda? Let's see. Do I have enough? I think I might have enough battery to make it down to the sign. We could probably maybe do that.
I didn't know what.
All right, so if I get in trouble for not getting home on time, I'm gonna blame you guys. I'm gonna tell Jay everybody wants me to go to the Vegas sign. So, all right, we got 52 people in here. If we can get in the next like 5 minutes, we can get up to 25 likes, I'll walk down to the Vegas sign. So anyone who hasn't hit that like button yet, go ahead and hit that like button or that thumbs up button. We're at 20. All right, if we get up to that, I'll walk down to the Vegas sign. I'll risk getting myself in trouble for that. You're done with the cold, huh? Yeah. I'm done with the cold too. All right, we got 22. We got what about? We got about 4 more minutes. I didn't even set my timer. Oh, we got one holdout. I don't see 25 on my side yet. They got more. I still see 24. I don't know if you guys see 25 yet, but now we can either do the Vegas sign today or we can do a nice long walk tomorrow, and we can start at like, I don't know, Fashion Show Mall and walk to the Vegas sign. You guys decide that, or do you just want to go down there today? Oh, we hit 25. All right. All right, well, we do say we can let you guys lead the chat, right? So, and the walk, so I guess we can do that, right? At some point, I'm gonna have to throw you guys on the charger. But yeah, so we got a lot of content. I'm starting to try to like schedule the content to come out on a more regular basis. You know, we got the every morning at 6 a.m. If you guys haven't seen that, if you think you know Vegas, I just started doing that yesterday. I'm taking little clips from our videos, different locations that we have been, somewhere we're standing. It could be a whole bunch of different. We got a whole bunch of different ones. Can we stop by and pick up a sandwich? Yeah, they are really good ones. Hey, look, everyone, it's Jorge. Everyone say good morning or good afternoon to Mr. George Flores. He's the greatest guy in the entire world. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. He really, truly is. He's my bestest friend. I'll take that check at the end of the week for saying nice things about you, George. No, George is a good dude. It's the famous Jorge. There we go. He's going to love that. He's going to screenshot that and be like, look, they call me famous. So I'm taking my son shopping. My son is going to Hawaii with his friends and his friends' parents. I think in April or May or something. So he needs to go get some clothes. So I'm taking him out shopping tonight. Told him, I said, man, I wish I could afford a trip to freaking Hawaii. But So yeah, so every morning 6 a.m. we have a new short that comes out. You guys go and guess the location. You don't win anything, maybe just bragging rights if you're the first guesser. And then the next morning I post where that location was. My kids like me actually, George. It's weird. Like I'm like really nice to my kids. Maybe that's why. Angry Sweet, what's going on? How you doing?
You are going to be in the crowd finale.
Well, the good thing is it's not too hot because I don't think I'm going to be doing afternoon walks to the sign when it's triple digits. I'll do it today because it's pretty nice. How are the outlets that are down past? Well, the outlets are down past the sign. The south outlets, they're actually right on Las Vegas Boulevard. You can take the Deuce down to the outlets. They're pretty decent. There's north outlets also, which are up around Charleston, just north of the Strip, a little north of the Stratosphere. They're pretty good too. You can find some good deals in there. That's usually where I get every year I get Jay a new wristlet, I think they're called, like little purse for Christmas from the Coach outlet. It's the replica Brooklyn Bridge here. How far of a walk is it from Flamingo? So it's quite a distance, Rob. Quite the distance. Probably a little over 2 miles, I would say. It's a little bit further than we're walking on this trip ourselves. So a little bit further. So it's probably going to take us, I don't know, probably going to take us about 35 minutes to get down to the sign from right here. Yeah, just take the Deuce down. Just take the Deuce down to the sign. I may end up taking the Deuce back. So yeah. Rob will start walking through the Stratosphere. Although there is a Las Vegas sign up there now. That should be, maybe we'll do that as a walk. So are one set of outlets better than the other? I think my kids like the north outlets better than the south outlets. I mean, they're pretty much basically kind of the same stores in them. So that was too easy to not say, Murakami. I was thinking it, but I wasn't going to do it to them. I'm glad someone did. Yeah, I mean, it's really not, listen, it's not a bad walk. It's just a far walk. You need to have, plenty of water, plenty of, oh my goodness, guess what? We forgot to get coffee. You guys are like, I'm all discombobulated now. You know what, I'm gonna have to grab a coffee for this walk. So we're gonna do a little detour here. We're gonna go through New York, and I'm trying to think if there's, oh, you know what, we can go right in Excalibur and get a coffee right in there. I know, I forgot my coffee. I was like, see, that's what happens when I don't have enough coffee. I get forgetful about my coffee. I haven't gotten cranky yet. I think I have a little extra caffeine in the system from yesterday. I drank a lot of coffee yesterday. Yeah, they should definitely have some express buses, right? That go up and down the strip, that don't stop at every single one. But that would get confusing for people, I think, you know. The mass transit system out here isn't really designed for tourists, even for locals. I mean, I think a lot of that had to do with the taxi lobby back in the day, kind of keeping keeping mass transit to a minimum, trying to force people to use taxis and stuff like that. You know what? Maybe that should be like maybe that should be a challenge, Murakami, for us to go over to Oyo one day and check out some coffee over there. All right, so this is back open now. I know some people had put some like videos, concerning videos about, oh, they're getting rid of the people mover at Excalibur, but they didn't. So we still have the people mover. They were just, this was down for a couple weeks because they were doing maintenance on it. So who remembers the show that they used to have at Excalibur here on the outside? The Dragon Show, the King Merlin show, you know, that was awesome. Although it was kind of like very cost prohibitive. My understanding is that the Dragon would break so often that it really cost a lot to maintain that Dragon. So should I do an iced coffee today or should I do a hot coffee? I think I'm going to stick with the hot coffee. I don't know. Maybe I'll get an iced coffee later tonight. I'll take my son over. There's a Thai place. We like to go over and get coffee over there, me and my son sometimes, right by our house. Well, then that would be a really bad challenge. There's got to be somewhere to get coffee in Oyo. See, for me, it's always hot coffee. Hot coffee is always the way for me to go. I'll drink an iced coffee in like 13 seconds. I feel like I was just here last night because so we did a walk last night through, down to Mandalay Bay, through all three properties and how to get there through all three properties without going outside. I'll probably have that up on our channel at some point this week. Let me see. I don't know if they even sell coffee here. Do you guys sell coffee? No? Okay. Yeah, the Starbucks at the end. I don't like Starbucks though. Thank you. All right, so no coffee there. So, what should we do? What should we do? I don't like Starbucks, and I don't feel like walking back to Hello Kitty. I'll get that on the way back, maybe. Maybe let's just do that. Let's just do, or we can get McDonald's coffee. The McDonald's coffee isn't that bad either. So, but we're gonna walk this strip. That's like the only Coparini that I know that doesn't have the coffee added. Oh yeah, the coffee at Mandalay is pretty good. Maybe we'll go there. maybe we'll just do McDonald's coffee because I'm kind of on a time constraint a little bit now. I don't want to get myself in too much trouble for being too late. Here we go. We can do this. Why don't we do this? Why don't we take the tram, cut some time off, right? I'm always talking about shortcuts. So let's take the tram. We'll take the tram down to Mandalay, and then we're pretty quick little walk over to the sign. Now, the past couple days, the sign has been absolutely crazy. So that's the elevator to get up onto the tram platform. My phone battery's fine. My phone battery right now is at like 60%. Once we get past like I can just throw it on the charger, pull over, unplug the mic and put it on the charger. You can kind of see the ball field from over here. That was Jay's first visit to Las Vegas too, was Excalibur. There's a lot of people waiting for the tram today. See, my problem is that sometimes I feel like I could walk faster than the tram can get me there, right? Because if we got to wait like 10 minutes for the tram, I could probably walk from here to Mandalay in about 12 minutes. Yeah, Excalibur's cool. Excalibur's clean. It does its job, right? And it's cheap. So we're hoping for the express tram to come in. The express tram knocks about a minute off your ride, your 3-minute ride. Looks like this one might be coming in anyway.
And unlike New York, where they can push you out onto the subway tracks, here they got glass, so they can't push you. And the rats can't. That's right.
Oh, it looks like the local is the one that we're gonna have to catch. Let's walk down. Excuse me. Oh, here's the express. Maybe we can catch the express. They're both in here. Which one should we do? Express? Let's wait for the express. Nah, let's just jump on here now. Is it slower than normal out here right now? I think that really depends. I mean, yeah, that is a lot of people. All right, we're gonna flip this around because not everybody likes to be on camera. So, what are we seeing as far as people out here? I think we're seeing pretty decent numbers so far this year. It was down a little bit in January, but you know, you're gonna have that, right? It's still early in the year, and unfortunately, I think because of some of the events that are going on, and you know, I hate to talk about politics, but we do have like kind of a war going on, and that's affecting oil, and that's going to in fact affect the price of air travel. So, you know, as the refineries slow down production on gasoline because they don't have the oil coming in with the rest of the world, jet fuel, the cost of jet fuel is going to rise, all that stuff. So we're going to see less people this year, I think, if this whole thing in the Middle East continues. To be honest with you, it's my Black Phillies hat. My kids got me that for my birthday. So Yeah, so I think this year we may see some lower numbers than last year because of what's going on in the Middle East, and that's going to affect how much travel people do, because airlines are going to start charging more because they're going to be being charged more for jet fuel, and I guess that's the way of the world right now, right? Nothing Vegas can do about that. So you just booked a flight for the end of May, so you should be fine if you're booked already. You know, that's the fuel or the oil that's stuck right now in the Strait of Maz is around 20% of the world's supply. So every single day, different countries are going to start cutting back on things, and it's really going to start to come to fruition. Probably, I'd say June is when we're really going to get hit with higher prices. I mean, just look at the price of gas right now at the pump. Is how much it's jumped. Josh, what's going on, buddy? All right, so we can flip this back around now. Somehow we ended up on the express line. So we're at Mandalay right now. All right, that was a nice little quick walk. So yeah, so without being too political, right or wrong or right, or whatever, however you want to do it, whatever's happening right now in the Middle East is going to affect us all. Travel plans, it's going to affect the tourism industry. I'm gonna say cruises are going to go up in price. Airline tickets are going to go up in price. You know, driving your car places definitely going to go up in price. So yeah, Sweet Sin is right by the link. Right, yep. And that's another thing. If this was the winter time, the cost it would cost you to heat your house up in the Northeast would be outrageous. Yeah, Sweet Sin is right out. It's actually attached. It's on the link side of the Link Promenade. It's right out across the promenade from the Flamingo doors there. Josh, hit me up when you get in here on Friday. All right, so we're gonna go grab a coffee and then head down to the sign. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we're gonna continue right down to the sign. I'll probably end it there. I might jump on the Deuce and head back up because I told Jay I tried to get home by like 4. I don't think that's gonna happen now, since you guys got me out here walking the sign. Eli, what's going on, buddy? We got Whittier, California checking in. $350 for your flight, and that's like 1997 prices, man. That's what I used to fly out here for. Back in the early 2000s, you could get like cheap flights and hotel rooms, package deals for like $300, man. I miss those days for sure. So yeah, so we're gonna go back here. We're gonna grab ourselves a coffee. This is one of my favorite spots. I love the scent in here. This is my favorite scent, by the way. What am I not seeing? I didn't see Joanna's comment here. I wonder if some comments don't show up on my end. Where are we right now? We are in Mandalay Bay. Earlier on in the chat decided they wanted to go down and see the sign. And I got so busy talking, I forgot to stop at Hello Kitty. So here we are, the last hotel that I can get a coffee at before we head down to the sign. No, Joanna, I can see some of your comments. Every once in a while, I see people respond to something, but I don't see what they're responding to. Maybe there's some filtering going on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. Go into the settings there. You're coming in on Thursday, Eli? All right, here we are at Citizens. Hopefully the line's not too long. I just want a coffee. This is actually really good coffee. They open up early too. They open up at like 7. Mandalay has a really huge convention center, so they get a lot of convention traffic in here. So oh, these flatbread pizzas look pretty good. It's Memorial Day weekend. It's busy out here, that's for sure. Yeah, YouTube does filter some comments too. Well, I'll meet up with you. So I don't drink, but I'll meet up with you somewhere and I'll grab myself. If they have non-alcoholic drinks, I usually grab a non-alcoholic. Some of the Athletic Brewing Company has some really good non-alcoholic beers, where some of the mocktails out here are actually really good. But yeah, man, I don't know. Hit me up if you're on TikTok. Hit me up on TikTok. Give me a DM. You see, what's the price here on one of them flatbreads? It's 16 bucks. These flatbreads are 16, 17, and 18 bucks. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's a pretty decent price for that. See, breakfast sandwiches, breakfast. Let's see. So it's like $15 for ham and cheese croissant. Breakfast sandwiches are 12 bucks. Probably not that bad. I think we're going to order pizza tonight for the kids. There's a good spot out here above the crust pizza. They have buy one, get one free pizzas. So we usually get like four pizzas. Usually is good. If all my kids are over, we need 6 pizzas. But man, look how big these cakes are. Rainbow cake looks good. Yeah, the sweets. They got a good selection of sweets here. Coffee's like $5.50 for a regular coffee, 75 cents for a flavor. Let's see, a cappuccino is like $7, which is a little bit below the average price on the Strip, I think, for those. Yeah, the gelato place, and that's what it's called, gelato, right? In Bellagio, they do. Hello, how you doing? Can I just get a hot coffee, and can you put some chocolate flavor in it?
Regular coffee?
Regular coffee, yeah.
You said chocolate, right?
Yeah.
Anything else?
That'll be it.
Okay, 7-Eleven.
All right, thank you. Get that down real quick. Whoops, I didn't put the tripod up the right way. Yeah, it was like $7, I think, for my coffee with chocolate flavor in it. So, here we go. All right, great, thank you. All right, now, here we go. We get this all angled up after it just fell over, geez. All right, off to the sign, right? So they still have the Bob Marley Hope Road place here. Now that's shut down, and the understanding is they were redoing it. A lot of people didn't realize what it was, so it really wasn't selling out like it should. I definitely want to check it out. I thought it would be a pretty cool concept. So the crowd, it's like immersive, so the crowd gets involved in all that stuff. A lot of people don't like that, but you know, happy Jimmy now, right? So cheers, we got ourselves some coffee. We're in a happy spot, the casino, the lights, the sounds. So, I don't know if you guys can hear the music, but they got Queen on in here. This is like, it's good music for a casino. Yes, the price was $7.11. I didn't even put that together there. Decon, how you been, Decon? Right? 7-Eleven, crash. Kristen, you're staying at Mandalay. Nice. When are you coming out to Mandalay? So I just did a video last night. I gotta post it still on where the rideshare location at Mandalay is and the taxi locations. So it can be a bit confusing. Yeah, well, the disco show, they didn't really advertise either, right? I mean, that was a great show. Me and Jay went to it. And we had a blast. I mean, I just think people didn't understand what it was. And then when they went to it, they were disappointed that they weren't just sitting down watching people disco dance, right? Why wouldn't you want to get up and disco dance with everyone? So what we're going to do here is we're going to go out. We're going to go down and we're going to take a walk through the Enchanted Garden down here, back out onto the Strip. Oh, nice. Quick weekend for a concert. I know I should go hit the craps. Maybe, you know, I really like to play craps. I like playing craps at Treasure Island. They got that stadium craps. I do like playing there, and I think it's a $3 minimum. Rio has $3 minimum also at the craps table, from 3 a.m. to 3 p.m. or something like that. Kristen, hit us up when you're out here. Maybe we can stop and grab a drink or something. That would be cool because me and Jay are down by Mandalay a lot. We actually love coming down this end of the Strip and doing things. So we're gonna go out. Now this is where valet, baggage pickup and stuff like that is, out this way. And look, one of the the self-driving vacuum cleaners is taking a little nap before they start chasing the guest around, right? Push. These doors are okay to push. Oops, sorry. These ones are okay to push. Now the taxi area, that's upstairs. So we're gonna walk through the Enchanted Garden. I love showing the Enchanted Garden off. We have a really nice video on our channel on that also. Yeah, the Diner Ross, I'd like to check it out, but the prices they're a little bit steep prices too at Diner Ross. Yeah, I should pull the doors. Yeah, I've done that a few times, right? That's what's going on. Yeah, I haven't been as live on either platform as much recently. I've just been super busy with stuff around the house and things like that, that sometimes my time is more well spent trying to just get some content together. and I don't have like 2 or 3 hours to live stream. I only have like an hour to shoot like a short little video or something like that. So Mike, what's going on? Bunsky, what's going on? We're doing good. You know, since it's pretty quiet out here, I think I could take the mic off and charge up. This way I know that we definitely have enough juice. So you guys remember this? Have you guys ever seen this when this was in its heyday, all its glory, and it had the waterfalls? I did a really nice walkthrough at night of this place, but MGM is really conserving water. A lot of people say, oh, they're just being cheap or whatever, but no, they're putting in a serious conservation effort for water, and they're putting in desert scapes and things like that around a lot of places. Now, where it doesn't work at the MGM Lion or New York, at the base of the Statue of Liberty. That definitely needs to have the water features go, or something else there, you know. But you can kind of get away with the desert scape here. You know, it does look really nice. All right, now I got you guys hooked up to the charger. You guys can hear me all right? Cal, you hit the like, thank you. Guys, hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button. Thanks for joining the chatters here. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. We do these live streams. This live stream is we're heading down to the Las Vegas sign, and that was kind of decided upon by you guys. I really was like, hey, where do you just want to go? And that's where we were. That's where they decided that we were going to go. So this is the Enchanted Garden. I have a really nice walkthrough at night. This place is beautiful at night. So go check that out on our channel. Hit that subscribe button. That's one of the best ways to support us. Subscribe to our channel, like our videos, share them out to your friends. We have super chats and stickers and things like that, but memberships, but we never really, I just mention them in case anybody ever likes to give those, but we are just happy with getting the views. That's really what we think is a difference. You know, we can grow, we can get support by your views. Cali boys, what's going on? There may have been a scent used out here. Mandalay has some of the best scents, I think. They use 2 different scents inside. One for the spa pool area and one for the upstairs area. Now, the steps that we just came down from the lobby area, those 2 scents kind of collide right there. And that's where you get like a 3rd scent. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait here for this light, and it's a little bit easier to cross at this light. We don't want to walk down the Mandalay side of the strip here, because when you get to Russell Road, the light to go across Russell Road, it takes like 5-6 minutes for that light to give the pedestrians the right of way. So when I'm walking to the sign, I usually cross over right where those 2 big pillars are. Those 2 big pillars, they were going to be the original spot for the high roller, but I guess the financing and everything fell through there. So now we just have these 2 big giant pillars in the middle of the strip that people always ask about. So you're just here and you stayed at Encore. Encore is beautiful. Wynn and Encore, 2 of my favorite properties. I mean, what's not to like about those properties? What's the gold tower at MGM Grand that faces the strip? Are you talking about the signature towers, maybe? We're gonna wait here for the cross symbol. So nice to finally get my coffee, my walk and my coffee. Been up the Strip for a while without the coffee, so. All right, now we can cross. It's safe-ish to cross. Crossing the Strip on street level is pretty crazy, one of the more dangerous ones. Hello.
Welcome to Vegas.
Hello, hello, hello. Awesome. They were a happy bunch. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure of the tower layout at MGM Grand. I mean, at one point, that was the world's largest hotel. It's still, I think, the world's largest singular hotel as far as rooms go, right? There's another property in Las Vegas that has more rooms and beats out the MGM properties. Anybody know which property that is? We did a little NeonCityWalker nugget on that before. MGM has just under 7,000 rooms, right? They have like 6,800 and some rooms, something like that, right? Between MGM Grand, Signature, the Mansion, that property, right? Not total rooms of all MGM properties, just those sister properties, right? There's another hotel on the Strip that has a few more. Joanna, yeah, we'll probably be on tomorrow. Just not sure exactly what time. Might do an early morning tomorrow. Tat, what's going on, buddy? All right, so the answer to that is the Venetian and the Palazzo. They have over 7,000 rooms combined. They have like 7,000, like, and 11 rooms or something like that. So they beat out MGM Grand by a couple hundred rooms. Hey, it's Kartzilla. Check it out. That's the original Kartzilla. You can tell by the license plate. Yes, Venetian and Palazzo, sister hotels, have like 7,117 rooms, something like that. And they beat out MGM and Signature in combined rooms. Vegas can be very addictive, and there's a lot of addicting things in Vegas, so be careful when you come out here. Hey, you guys had a good time on Kartzilla? I heard a third Kartzilla is in the makings. They have two of them now. So how crowded do you think the sign's going to be today? You think it's going to be pretty crowded? I think it's going to be pretty crowded today. The past couple times I've driven past it, it has been really, really crowded. See, like when you get down this end of the Strip, there's really nothing. And that's why you don't really see a whole lot of people walking down here, right? You have this old abandoned Laughing Jackalope Bar and Grill, some abandoned hotels back there. You know, there's really nothing to draw people down this end. I mean, they have a Panda Express, a liquor store, McDonald's, a little Indian eatery across the street from Mandalay. But I don't really know how many people are leaving Mandalay to come over here, right? Yeah, you think it's going to be crowded? I think it's going to be really crowded. We'll talk about what you can do down there too. D, thank you so much. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for the super. Appreciate it. That is awesome. So Ulitas has, where's that at, Cali boys? It's the South Outlet malls are about maybe 2 miles south of the sign. If you take the Deuce, you can take the Deuce from right down the Strip to the South Outlet Mall. Once again, I want to thank Dee for the super. Appreciate that. Appreciate everyone who's subscribed to our channel, gave us the thumbs up, gave us the likes today. We really appreciate all the support that you guys have shown us. You know, we are relatively newer here on YouTube. We've been doing, we mostly were on TikTok for a while, and now we're, oh, right behind me. I didn't see the sign. Oh, there we are. You know, I'll have to check that out. I'll bring my sons there. They love burritos, man. So the sign is south of the Strip. Now there's a second sign that they just put up on the north end of the Strip by the Stratosphere. All right, we're gonna cross. Nobody's coming this way. Everybody's turning. Yeah, we're gonna have to check that out. My kids, they love the Mexican food. They try out new places all the time too. Vegas is your first and only love. Yeah, that's how me and Jay, like, when we lived out here the first time in 1997 and we left, it took us a while to kind of realize that we probably made a mistake when we moved back to the East Coast back in 98 and finished up school and got on with our life. Like, we were like, our whole plan was like to come back to Vegas. She'd graduate college. She only had, I think, like another year of college left, and she was going to graduate college. I was going to do my apprenticeship, and then we were going to come back. But in the meantime, we ended up getting married, started having kids. Next thing you know, it's 20 years later, and we're moving back in 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic, right? So, but we always felt like, man, we should have never left. Yeah, it is a very happy place for people that can keep Vegas in perspective, right? A lot of people can't handle Vegas. They come out here and they just binge. They binge gamble, they binge drink, they, you know, and, you know, there's so much more to Vegas than just doing that, you know? So, you know, when you come out here and you get out into the desert, the mountains, you know, go off Strip, there is just so much this city has to offer than just the Strip or Fremont Street. So we're going to be doing some stuff off Strip too pretty soon. I'm trying to find a couple areas out in the desert that I think have some good cell service that I may be able to do some live streams from, to show you guys some hiking trails or things like that live in real time. This is a good coffee. Citizens, that's where I got my coffee from. Right there in Mandalay. Catching a little bit of wind down here. Now, to get to the sign, the easiest thing, if you guys are just joining, is when we got to Mandalay, when we came out of Mandalay, we crossed over the Strip. So we're on the east side of the Strip right now. That's Mandalay's Convention Center, Shark Reef, and all that stuff inside them buildings right there. Yes, leave the flamingos alone. So you want to cross over. See the sign here, welcome to Las Vegas sign straight ahead. That's Russell Road right there where you see the lights. Last time I walked down that side of the Strip, and I got to Russell Road. It was a good 5 or 6 minutes of a light cycle to be able to cross. And it's a pretty busy road. I didn't want to run across it. So much better to cross over and walk down this side, the opposite side. Yeah, I know, that was crazy what happened with the flamingos. It's disgusting. It's utterly disgusting that who has those types of thoughts in their head, first off, right? And I don't want to hear, oh, he was drunk, right? I've been drunk a lot in my life, and I ain't never done nothing that stupid or that disrespectful. You know what I mean? And the fact that he had his friends there with him and nobody said, yo, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You know, or his friends didn't whoop his ass. I mean, seriously. You know? Now, I did read that they took his passport away, so he can't leave the country. Hopefully, you know, he has a quick trial. They find him guilty, and he spends some time in jail, and he gets a little bit more than a fine, right? They really need to crack down on people being stupid like that. Being drunk is not an excuse for anything, right? I mean, and then where was hotel security? Where were the other guests too, right? I mean, if I saw somebody walking through the Flamingo with a flamingo in their arms, I definitely would say something to them, you know? I mean, how did he jump the fence and nobody noticed on the security cameras or anything like that? They definitely need to upgrade the security in the habitat back there. I mean, and what the hell was the guy planning on doing when he got the thing up to his room? Kill it? I mean, that alone, I mean, something wrong with that dude. Yeah, I don't think most of the security out here in Vegas is that great. You know, you're on camera everywhere, but there's not somebody watching every single camera, so a lot does slip through the cracks. I understand that. So he's telling people, I'm fixing the wing of this flamingo. Here's some drunk ass dude with a flamingo, and I'm fixing the wing, and people are like, okay, they should go lock all them people up too. As far as I know, the flamingo did survive, broken wing, and I think a couple other ones were kind of roughed up a little bit. So that sounds about right, Mike. Well, yeah, ultimately everything falls down on the CEO, right? Definitely. You know, not having the right staffing numbers and things like that. But I'll be honest, I have seen some security people out here that saw some stuff going down and were very not really my problem. I don't want to get involved with that guy, you know, gripping that girl up by her neck, you know? So we were actually, I'm not going to name the casino one night with some friends, and one of the females in our group went to the bathroom, and a drunk guy come into the bathroom and was like acting really weird. She like freaked out, ran out of there because she didn't know what this guy was going to do, right? Nobody knew. And she runs and grabs a security guard, and the security guard was like, well, did he do anything to you? And she was like, no, but he like approached me, and he was like, well, if he didn't do anything, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, what? A fucking drunk guy walks into the ladies' room, and he's still in there, and like is harassing the women in there, and you're like, there's nothing you can do about it? So yeah, we kind of made a big stink. They finally got the guy and got him out of there. I don't know what they did with him. By that point, it was like an hour and a half later, But the dude was in the bathroom for at least a good half hour, and like women were walking in and like running out. So, you know, but yeah, I mean, you know, ultimately, I think it comes down to just personal responsibility of people being able to, you know, control their impulses, not drink so much, not just be assholes. How about that? Let's not be an asshole and go hurt the flamingos. Yeah, it's definitely a bad look for the property. All right, so the sign is right across the street. We're gonna walk over there in a minute. This is the Deuce northbound. So the Deuce northbound will take us back up the Strip. And that's probably what I'm going to jump on after we get done here. So let's see. From this side of the street, let's see how crowded it looks. You guys tell me. Now there are some people down here that run a scam, right? I guess we can consider it a scam, right? They try to tell you that they're like official photographers, right? But there is no real official photographers down here, you know? And you don't really have to wait in that line either. I mean, if you want to get dead center underneath the sign, yeah, you gotta wait in that line, right? But you can get some really good pictures. Hey, don't worry, guy. There's only 100 people seeing your trip. So if you come down here, you can stand off to the side, get yourself a really good picture. We do it sometimes for some Christmas cards or whatever. Just walk down here, stand off to the side. You know, I've never seen, you know, you get people that, like right here is not a bad sign, right? So right where those people are standing, if you just took your picture right there, right? Oh, there's a bulb out too. Do you guys see the bulb that's out? Let me zoom in. We'll clip this out later and see if you guys can see which bulb is out. So yeah, that's a pretty decent crowd here today. Like that lady right there, I don't think she's anything official, you know? Like, you don't need to use her to get your picture taken there. Yeah, that's for sure. The Deuce bus is not, it's not the most reliable bus, but you know, it's going down the Strip. So any bus in any city that's on like a major drag like that, Strip, is going to be very crowded and never on time. You got your screenshot, cool. So now we can superimpose Rob and he can say, look, I walked all the way to the Vegas sign. Now here's a cool little thing. If you go to the Yesco website, you can actually buy one of the light bulbs. Like that light bulb that's out, when they come and change that, they'll give it a certificate of authenticity, and you can buy it on the website. I forget how much it is. Walk all the way to Fremont Street. Another day, Mad Matt. Another day, maybe that'll be a walk that we do. Maybe we'll walk from the Las Vegas sign to Fremont Street. Trying to think what's the first. So I walked from Sands down to the Las Vegas sign and back to not Sands, that's a Venetian, Sahara, and back from the Sahara to the Vegas sign and back. I've done that in the past. So it's a 5-mile walk. The Strip is like 4.4 miles, I think it is. So basically from here to the Strap. So it's Fremont Street's probably about 7 miles maybe. I don't know. Let's look it up. Anyone want to look that up? Las Vegas sign to Fremont Street. I mean, we can go. Let's sit down for a second here. Let's see how much we walked today. So we're at 10,000 steps today. 11,000. We're about to break 11,000 steps. So 11,000 steps is how many miles? That's 4.9 miles we've walked today. So 10 miles. I'm sorry, bud. Yeah, we were just talking about that, right? Avoid those people, right? That's not like their official job. There's no official, you know what I mean? They're doing it for tips, and they're just trying to, you know, if you don't have somebody, ask somebody in line. A lot of times somebody in line will just do it too. So I don't see a deuce, so we're gonna have to walk. Guess we'll walk back. Guys got me for another little bit. Time is at 2:44. All right, so I parked all the way up the north end of the Strip. Let's see how long it's going to take us to get back up. All right, Rob, you take it easy. I'll see you on here tomorrow. So with our little twists and turns and everything that we've done, we've been on here for an hour and about 30 minutes. So probably I'm gonna say gonna take us about an hour to get back up towards the Bellagio. Jason, what's going on, man? How you been? Welcome in. So that wasn't too bad of a walk. Totally doable walk. I mean, it's only about 75 degrees today, so it's not that bad. Don't do this walk in July if you don't bring enough water, things like that, man. You're gonna pass out on a walk like this. Yeah, we did a nice walk this morning. We also did a little bit on TikTok. I like to do that, start sometimes on TikTok in the morning and then switch over to YouTube. YouTube makes it nice since we can go into the properties and not have to hide the camera, you know, so it doesn't show a slot machine and get my stream taken down. Maybe I'll go shopping with Jay tonight. I think she wants to go to like TJ Maxx or Ross or something. My son wants to get some Hawaiian shirts. He's going to Hawaii. So I'm going to go look for some new sneakers, I think. Yeah, let's hit that thumbs up button. We got 63. Let's try to get up to 100 by the end of this walk, right? I mean, we have people coming in. If you're enjoying this live stream, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Go watch some of our videos. We got a lot of videos that are going to be coming out over the next couple weeks. I'm trying to schedule some videos. That's where, you know, I've been super busy where I may only have like an hour and a half to do something, and you know, I'm just running, doing some content, editing it, scheduling it for when it's you know, going to come out. You know, this way, you know, the goal of this channel here is we really want you guys to be able to walk around Vegas, find your way with the easiest routes, some tips, some tricks, some good spots that are cheap to maybe stop and eat. You know, you're not going to get a whole lot of the fluff with us, right? Like your top 5. We do that occasionally, like things like that. But that's not really up our alley, right? We're a little bit more want to show you the rawness of Vegas in real time. That's why we live stream a lot. And a lot of the videos that I make are not really heavily edited, if edited at all, you know. I just posted, can you walk from the Rio to the Strip? Right, and that was a 20-minute video. I didn't edit anything on that, so maybe a little bit cut out at the end. But you like the where we at post? Yeah, so I got about 2 weeks of them already scheduled. I've just been going through and, you know, putting the captions on the screen. That's a fun little thing, you know what I mean? Because there's a few that are coming up, that are going to be kind of tough. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on them. 6 o'clock every morning. That's when I had them scheduled to come out for. Does Harry Reid Airport TSA take forever? No, it actually moves along pretty smooth. You know, at peak times, yeah, you're gonna have some wait, but I've gotten in and out, or through the line rather, relatively quick several times that I've flown out of Vegas. I mean, I've been in other airports where, you know, it's like not a peak time, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Nobody goes at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And that was at LaGuardia in New York, and that took me forever to get through that airport, man. Herbs and Rye we want to stop and try that out, their late night happy hour one night. We keep meaning to go to that place, and every time we drive past it on our way home from the Strip, we're like, why didn't we stop here? You know, it's like one of those things where we always forget about it until somebody mentions it or we drive past it, right? I heard that the food is absolutely amazing there, and it has a really good late night happy hour. So we definitely want to check it out and give you guys like kind of a vibe check, you know? Like, because like I said, I'm not a foodie. Jay's not a foodie, you know? I just like to tell you, hey, it was flavorful, it was good, it was, you know, the vibe was really cool. That's what you know, a lot of times mediocre food, but at a really cool atmosphere to it, and you have a good time. So that's kind of, I don't like when people feel like they got ripped off because they overpaid for food and the atmosphere wasn't that good. If that makes any sense, right? So I think, you know what I think we might do to save on some time is, let's go and take the back ways. Some of the, I don't know if they're actually shortcuts or not, but it is getting kind of warm. Yeah, the Irish pub, was it Rira? That's in between Mandalay and the Luxor. Yeah, we've been there. That is actually a really fun time. We've gone there a few times. Yeah, that's a fun time. it gets pretty crazy in there at night, actually. The other spot right next, it's a few storefronts down. Hassang's is actually really cool too. There's a couple good spots in between Mandalay and Excalibur to stop and have some food and drink. Mandalay has a lot of great spots too. All three of them properties actually have a lot of really fun bars to hang out in. I mean, obviously you have House of Blues. You had a Foundation Room in Mandalay. I'm not sure that's open yet. I think they were doing some remodeling. That has some amazing views of the Strip at night. One of my favorite restaurants on the Strip is actually Public House too, and that is inside the Luxor there. They got really good burgers and fries and nachos. Like, that's a great little, just like, they got a cool bar, cool atmosphere, cool spot to hang out. You can take kids there. You just can't sit in the bar area. Like, these three properties down the south end of the Strip are really like sleepers. You know, people discount these and say, oh, they're crap, they're old, they're dated, they're whatever. Yeah, but they still got some good value. And, you know, they're really not that much older than a lot of the other properties on the Strip, right? Think about the Bellagio is going to turn 30 in 2 years, right? So that opened, what, in 1998? So, you know, a lot of these properties, the Strip is aging in general, you know. It is pretty old. Cosmo and Aria, as far as center Strip properties go, are the two newest new builds. You know, it's not until you get to the north end of the Strip where you have brand new construction, which was started freaking 25 years ago. Yeah, House of Blues, they have two happy hours in House of Blues too. Which are pretty good. So we're gonna, let's see, keep on heading up. I'm gonna switch you guys over when we get closer to the casinos and stuff. Put you back on the microphone. Here's what I was telling you earlier, the Laughing Jackalope. I've never been here I've never been in there. That would have probably been a cool spot to hang out at some point in Vegas history. But we're glad we can give you the live streams so that, you know, you can get your Vegas fill as much as possible. You know, we try to do it as much free time as I have. If I have more than like an hour and a half, I try to go live. If I don't have an hour and a half, at least an hour and a half, I don't think it's really worth going live for like an hour, right? You don't really start to catch a vibe or get into the live stream with the chat and people asking questions and things like that. It usually takes a little bit of time to build up. That's why I like doing like a little bit longer live streams, you know. Hotel Nirvana Hotel. That's a little, I wonder if they charge by the hour there. I don't know. Psychics. I've never been to a psychic. That's a good song, Come As You Are. So, I still love Nirvana, but I loved Nirvana. I was very sad when Kirk passed, but I had this box set. It was called like Into the Black, and it had a lot of European cuts and stuff on it, man. Yeah, I would probably definitely no dress code in there. That was like one of the best box sets I ever had. Now, when I moved out of my mom's house back in 2000, and I guess it was when I bought my house in Philly, I left the box set there. I was like, oh, I'll go back and get it. It's still sitting in my bedroom, but I unfortunately don't speak to my mom's side of the family anymore. So all my CDs, things like that I just was like, oh, I'll get them later on, they're all just sitting there. Like so much of my childhood, I'll probably never see it again, but I've been looking all over for that box set. I check eBay and everything for it, but it was like a six disc box set, and it had like some really great, amazing cuts of Nirvana albums there. You know, I've heard some people say that about Bellagio, that, you know, it's starting to seem a little bit dated, and, you know, now they just shut down the conservatory for the first time, I think, ever. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it was the first time that it's ever been shut down for more than a week between displays, and that was to do some deep cleaning and maintenance in there. What are CDs? CDs are compact disc that you put in a little in the stereo system that you had, right? And they spun around really fast, and if you scratched one, it was it. That was it. I know. Imagine CDs, man. Imagine if we gave like kids like a cassette tape and like a Walkman, and was like, here, you want to listen to your music? This is how you got to do it. I don't think kids would know what to do if they couldn't stream their songs and had to wait by the radio with their finger on the record button. You stopped for them. Luckily for those people, that guy was paying attention. A lot of people just step out into the street. You've seen it on YT, right? Oh, are you talking about the box set? Decon, thanks for joining us today. Thanks for the super. Appreciate it. Thanks for all your support. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Probably be on here tomorrow, so make sure you stop by. Oh, you've seen that on YouTube where they tried to put the cassette on backwards. Yeah, I saw one where they gave kids like a rotary phone and they had no idea. You know what I mean? CDs are still, I know vinyl's in. I mean, my kids at one point wanted like a record player and stuff. I just thought CDs like kind of just went away. We better get the light here. There we go. That's the bad part about crossing the strip, is if you miss the light cycle, you're there for like another 5 minutes. I know cars don't have the CD players, and I think our Prius had a CD player. That was a 2013. That might have been the last year that they had them. That's cool. See, I like the real DJs that like actually do mix the records and scratch and cut on the records. Not these like TikTok DJs that have like those little fake sympathizer things and, you know, sit there and pretend to be DJs, you know.
Guys,
2015 was the last year for the F-150 CD players. Yeah, they had to start going out around that time frame. It's crazy. And I remember the auxiliary cable that you could plug in to, like, you know, your iPad or whatever, before Bluetooth was everywhere. Yeah, I've seen that the vinyl does come in the pretty colors. Some of the albums have actual designs on them. That's all cool, man. I used to have quite a record collection too when I was younger, but you know, I mean, I'm 50, so when I was like first started listening to music, you know, CDs weren't out yet. It was mostly on cassettes or vinyl, you know. And then my mom had all vinyl from like the 80s and the 70s and the 60s. Oh man, there's probably a lot of money, but can't hear anything. You're gonna be staying at Luxor and walking to Allegiant. When's that, Cal? Because I am actually editing a video to walk to Allegiant. Maybe they were talking about when the fire truck or the ambulance went by. Maybe their volume's not up. I don't know. May 23rd. Nice. Yeah, I'll have that video out before then. Just subscribe, you know, if you're not already subscribed to our channel, subscribe to our channel, because I do all kinds of videos on how to walk places. Because people, there's the Strip, right? And right now I'm walking out on the Strip. It's only about 75 degrees today. It's not that bad, but come the summer, you're not going to want to walk down here because there is no shade here, right? And there's nowhere to stop and grab a bottle of water without stopping inside, walking back inside. Now, all three of those properties are connected. A lot of people didn't know that. A lot of people don't know about the trams out here, or the monorails, or the backways, the connections that all the casinos, not all, that a lot of casinos have now. So, you know, that's kind of what we're putting out for you guys. How to get places, the best way to walk, save some time, save some steps, avoid steps, things like that. So, you know, my foot's actually hurting a little bit here today. Oh yeah, if you guys want to check out a really fun, we just did a podcast, and we were on the Senton Guy, so go check that out. That was really fun. So that's Aroma Retail. We're affiliates for them, but they're the ones that provide the scents, have all the scents of all the hotels out here. They do a podcast, and we were on there talking about our favorite scents, some of the things that, you know, got us to being out here doing these live streams and stuff. Yeah, I should get, you know what's gonna happen is, see, I have so many shoes at home. I'm actually getting in trouble by Jay lately because I got like, I probably have 20 pair of sneakers, shoes, and they're like all over the place. So she's gonna, she's gonna make me get rid of a bunch. Yeah, don't always trust the Google Maps or anything like that. So you got lost in that service area behind Park MGM. Oh yeah, so that is, were you driving? Yeah, that is like kind of like taxis and stuff like that know how to get through there. But if you're just using the like Apple Maps or Google Maps or something, that tells you the total wrong way. Yeah, I've done that myself. Which casino is my favorite? Well, I have different casinos that are favorites for different reasons, right? My favorite casino to go out to dinner at is probably Cosmo or Venetian. My favorite casino to gamble at is either New York, or Planet Hollywood. I love just kind of chilling at Aria. I think Aria is just a great space to chill out in. So, oh wow, you went through there on foot. Okay. Now, Zap Guy, what we might end up doing right now, I've done it many a time, is there is a walkway that takes you from Park MGM all the way to Bellagio, and you're only outside for about like 3 minutes. And that, I'm not making no excuses for your map ad. That may have been the walkway they were trying to get you to take, but yes, Jay does have an Amazon storefront, right? I think it's NeonCityWalkers too, if you go on Amazon and search us there. You know, we're going to start putting some links of some of our favorite things that, you know, help us get around Vegas a little more. We're going to like kind of lightly promote the Amazon storefront a little bit, but, you know, we don't want to be too salesy or anything like that, right? Me and Jay, we kind of believe in like organic support. You know, if you want to, you know, everyone can see that we have super chats and memberships, and if you want to send something, great. If you want to become a member of our channel, awesome, we really appreciate it. You know, but we people that subscribe and watch our videos and things like that helps us grow. And you know, just click the links. You found that walkway the next day, right? No, that is kind of confusing, going out and about that way. I got lost during F1 last year, over MGM. So they put a bridge that goes over Harmon Ave, right, behind Planet Hollywood, over to MGM, and you know, you can skip a lot of the construction on Harmon going that way. Well, I made a right because I wanted to get back out onto the Strip, but I made a right into a service area because that's what Google Maps told me to do. And I ended up in some type of limo area, and like they were like yelling at me like, you're not allowed, because I had my big ugly truck with me, and I was like, oh sorry, I made the wrong turn. So yeah, even sometimes I get lost, but mostly I get lost if I'm driving, not if I'm walking. 2 nights at Park, 2 nights at Golden Nugget. Oh nice, you did the resort hopping. You know, a lot of people now have been doing that. You know, staying a couple nights on the Strip and a couple nights downtown. You get the best of both worlds, I think, you know. And for some people that have never been here before, that's a good way to kind of figure out which vibe you like better, right? Fremont Street or the Strip. I think they both serve a purpose. And if I was coming out here as a tourist, I think I would probably do like 2 or 3 nights on the Strip and a night or 2 downtown, right? Fremont, to me, it's fun, but a night or 2 is really all I ever really needed. Park was fancy, yeah, right? And Golden Nugget was probably a lot more fun downtown, right? I've just always I like downtown. And there's a lot of good live streams downtown, so I don't like to really shout out other channels that often, but you know, if you go on YouTube at night and just put in Las Vegas, you're gonna find a lot of people streaming downtown. Some of them are really, really good. Yeah, so you know, definitely check them out, because you're not really ever gonna find us up there doing a whole lot of live streaming. Oh, that's nice. The security guard's giving this guy taking a picture for that guy. Pretty nice. The 1980s jacuzzi towel felt so. Oh, that's cool. They have like the old school jacuzzis. Nice. So, is the homeless a problem at night? Well, homelessness in general is a problem. Now, people aren't the problem. Homelessness is the problem, right? There should be enough resources in this country to kind of, you know, give people a helping hand, you know, help people with their addictions, or, you know, just because you get laid off from a job you shouldn't be thrown out of your apartment or your house. But enough of that, right? No, for the most part out here, homeless people are not overly aggressive, not like in some other cities. You know, I've been in New York and Philadelphia, where I grew up, where homeless people will just straight up come right up in your face and like kind of demand money from you. Out here, they just kind of, you just say nah or whatever and walk, you know, past. It's not as bad as a lot of people want it to sound like it is. So there are a growing number of homeless people, but they're not really so much on the Strip. There's maybe more downtown and up in like North Las Vegas areas and stuff like that. We're gonna walk through, get out, beat the heat a little bit. So I'm probably gonna get yelled at soon. I'll get home probably about 4:30, quarter of, which ain't that much later than I said I was gonna be. So we're gonna walk through New York, out the back towards, hold on, we gotta pull over for a second. I wanna put my microphone back in. We'll be all right while we walk. We go over here real quick. Sorry about that. Wanted to get the mic back on because so much of the sound that comes through will definitely pull the copyright. Well, the dress code really only dress codes really only apply to like the clubs and things like that. I mean, walking through the casinos, there should be a dress code sometimes. I look, and see the way people are dressed, you know, wearing pajamas down on the casino floor. Kind of, you know, but there's really only a dress code if you're going to a club or a restaurant. So just walking through the casino, gambling, things like that, no, not really a dress code. So we're gonna walk through here, and then we're gonna head back up through the back way, Park MGM, Aria, Cosmo, Bellagio, and then we'll probably end right around there. And I think that would be a good day's walk for us, eh? Oh. Chi-Town girl, what's going on? So yeah, this is one of my favorite spots to gamble. I really like the vibe, the lighting, and all that stuff in New York, New York. Now, New York, New York is a very, very tricky casino to walk through. I should do like a walkthrough through here and explain a lot of it about it. I do have a pretty cool little walkthrough, just a silent walkthrough, just walking through it. I'm not really talking about it. I also have the ride share, where you catch the ride share here. I have a video on our channel for that also. But New York, New York was designed specifically to be confusing, right? Kind of give you that New York City vibe that, you know, there's a lot of twists and turns and, you know, angled walkways that kind of seem like they're leading you to nowhere. And, you know, it was specifically designed like that. They brought in architects and New York City designers to design this place. They really spent a lot of money on the design of New York, New York, trying to make it and feel authentic. You know, there were rumors at one point they were going to have people mug people in here, just like real New York City. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. But so if you are watching and you have seen our So You Think You Know Vegas post from this morning, I guess we're going to give the answer away right now, right? Where are we? Yeah, New York, New York does have some good signage, but still it does it does get a little bit confusing. All right, I'm skipping the Hello Kitty coffee. Too close together. But normally I would walk right outside and walk right over to Hello Kitty out here. One of the best coffee spots, fun coffee spots on the Strip right there. Really good cafe mocha coffee right there. Super nice. The girls that work there are super nice. This is actually a really good spot. Beer House. This is a hangout in before the Golden Knight games, before anything really that goes on at T-Mobile. Beer House is like where a lot of people go and hang out. They actually have some really good non-alcoholic options if you do not drink, like myself. Man, there's a ton of sun glare today. We're not used to all this sun, huh? Well, we took that long pit stop for the coffee, and you know, we tell you guys, you know, we kind of let you guys guide the chat, and I agreed to walk to the sign today, right? I said, hey, where do you guys want to go? And a couple people said the sign, so we walked down to the sign, right? Which was a little bit further than I was expecting to walk. It took a little bit longer than I was expecting to be out, but you know, it's what you guys wanted to see. So we walked down there, and here we are now on our walk back. I told Jay I'd be home around 3, 4 o'clock. So it looks like I'll get home a little after 4. if I make a good timing on this leg of the trip, right? So we're gonna walk over Park MGM. We're gonna take the back way through Park MGM, and it's all climate controlled, so that's good. Get out of some of the sun, right? So it's really not super hot today. It's only about 75 degrees today, but it is super sunny. Go ahead. As you can see with some of the sun glare coming on the with you guys here. Speaking of sun glare, going to be in Vegas for 10 days. Yes, it will be in the 90s in about 10 days. We were having an unprecedented heat wave apparently headed our way. And so if we go in here, we can go in these doors here. They got really, some of the nicest restrooms in Vegas are right here inside these doors. So that's the reserve bar. That is a really cool spot. Me and Jay have gone there a few times. And then you have the library. The library is really cool. Some really cool shows that go on in there. Some nice artwork going into here. So we're gonna head into the casino and make a left and start heading back towards the lobby area. Park MGM is also smoke-free, 100% smoke-free inside. There's only a few spots outside that you can smoke. That's by the rideshare areas and stuff like that. Other than that, no smoking, which a lot of people love. I don't mind a smoke-free environment. I'm pretty much have quit smoking. Still occasionally have one, but not like I used to. I've not had one this whole day doing our live streams, where in the past, you guys have been around for a while, you'd hear me light up all the time, right? But I've been pretty good. So there's the chef's truck. That's not open yet, but yeah, so the Tom Brady thing, we saw that last night. My son was talking about it. I have to bring him down there. My son is a huge avid sports card collector, trader, and seller on the internet, and he makes pretty good money doing that too. So we wanted to go down there and kind of check that out. So if you come back here towards the pool, you're gonna walk towards the pool, but you're gonna make a right, and you're gonna take this walkway now. This walkway is the start of a walkway that gets you all the way to Bellagio. Basically almost all the way. You can go almost all the way to Caesars. You just have to cross the pedestrian bridge without going outside for more than like maybe 3 minutes. So when it's hot out, this is the way to go. Yeah, I want to check out the Hall of Greatness too up at Fountain Blue. That would be pretty cool. It's been 9 months. 9 months, and you go 3 times, usually 3 times a year. But it's been 9 months. That's a pretty long break in between, right? I know a lot of people have cut back on traveling recently. And it seems like, you know, everyone says everyone's cut back on traveling to Vegas specifically, but 38.5 million people came here last year, so that's hardly Vegas was dead. It was just a downtick of around 3 million less people, which really just says Vegas was slow last year, not dead. Okay, so we need to take some escalators here. Now, if you have mobility issues, you're in, you know, a scooter or something, you're gonna go down here and you'll see a sign for the Tram elevator. That'll take you upstairs, okay? But we're gonna go up the escalators. And these escalators, I don't think I've ever seen these escalators down and someone not actively working on these. So this is going to take us up to Aria. As soon as we get to the top of the steps, we are at Aria. And there's the tram to the left that we can take. That'll take us over to the Crystal Shops, Ladara or Bellagio, but we're gonna walk. We already took one tram today. We took the tram from Excalibur to Mandalay Bay. So here you see the signage for Aria Resort and Casino. And over here is the tram to the Crystal Shops, Ladara, Bellagio. So it's okay to push these doors, by the way, just not the doors at Bellagio. Okay. So now this is probably looking familiar to you guys if you have ever parked at Aria. The parking garage is up here towards the right. That's the self-parking. To the left is the resort and casino area. And this is probably one of the most recognizable scents of all Vegas. Everyone says how much they love this scent. If this is one of your favorite scents, you can check out the links right there. Murakami put up for Aroma Retail. Use Neon City, 20% off your purchase when you check out. They have all your favorite hotel scents there. All right. So these doors, we pull these doors. I know that, right? We're gonna pull these doors. We're gonna walk in, we're gonna make a left and head past the poker room. That's the fastest way to get to where we're going. And right now I'm kind of more about speed than I am. But so we're gonna come up here past the poker room. We're gonna follow this all the way around. We're gonna see the sports book coming right up straight ahead. Money line. That's a pizza shop. They have some really good pizza in there at Moneyline, right behind the sports book. So you grab a pizza, watch some of the game. Yeah, walking this way is much prettier than the service area. Smells a lot better too, right? Because they got the trash dumpsters and stuff back in them service areas, and I can imagine what that smells like in August. Ugh. So we're gonna keep walking down here. The high limit area is up here towards the left here. Blossom, Lemongrass, the Sky Suites, right down that hallway. Now this is one of the coolest floors in all of Vegas. You got to go and check out our video up on our shorts. This floor turns into an amazing optical illusion when you go up top and check it out and look down. It is absolutely amazing. So here's the high limit lounge over here to the left. So we're gonna follow this up past the cashiers until we hit the Aria Patisserie. Now Aria Patisserie, 24-hour patisserie. If you want coffee, desserts, a sandwich in the middle of the night, this is one of the spots that is still open in Vegas 24 hours a day. There's not a whole lot open 24/7 anymore. So this is one of our favorite spots to go. Jay likes to hang out, grab some coffee, do some work up here on the strip sometimes. So they still have this awesome cake decoration right here. This is all edible. That's a cake and sugar. I wish when they were taking this down, they would just open up the glass and let me have a bucket of coffee, and I could just eat all that cake with some coffee, right? Murakami, what's going on? Glad to see you are sitting here at greeting people as they walk into Aria, the North Lobby. We have the big, beautiful Buddha right here. Rub the belly, belly rubs. All right, so this is the only time on this walk that we are going to be outside on our walk here now to Bellagio, right? So we have to come out here at the north entrance here of Aria. We're still here, Joanna. Yeah, so I'm gonna probably sign off once we get back out to like Bellagio, I guess. Again, like I said, you only have to come out here for like a 2 or 3 minute walk. Tobin, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Just walking basically from Aria, this pathway gonna walk us and lead us over to get inside Vdara right here. And Vdara has a pathway that's gonna take us over to Cosmo or Bellagio, depending if we want to go straight or make a right. And this is great in the summertime when you're trying to beat the heat. Some of the crowds on the strip, a lot of people just don't walk this way. A lot of people don't even realize that this exists, or they think it takes them too much out of the way. So I don't know. I guess have you guys taken this walk? I mean, I think that this walk is much more faster to get from Park MGM to the Bellagio than walking up the strip. But that just might be my bias talking, because I kind of like walking this way. Oh yeah, the pedestrian walkways definitely make it a lot easier, right? You know, if you came here in the early 2000s, late 90s, right, there was really the only pedestrian bridges I think were at Tropicana, right, in the strip, that went from. So we are in the lobby now at Vdara. So we're just going to keep going straight up here, and you'll see this is going to bring us right into the Bellagio. We're at the top of the rampway here. You make a right and that brings you into Cosmo, right at the Wicked Spoon. So I think at Tropicana and the strip were the only ones that had the bridge walkways, right, back in like the early 2000s. I think it was like around 2012 that they built the bridge going over the rest of the strips, is when they all kind of started to get completed, right? So before then, everything was at street level, so you had to wait for traffic lights, and I think that is one of the reasons that people say it was more crowded back then, was because everybody was stopped at a traffic light waiting to, you know, cross the strip or whatever, and a big crowd would form, and then the light would turn and everybody would start walking, and you'd be walking as a big crowd, and then it would thin out as people, you know, went into different stores or different casinos, right? And I think that's why people say, hey, you know what, it was way more crowded back then, even though the numbers don't even come comparable, right? You're looking at the, you know, the low 30s, 30 million or so back then for visitors, when, you know, we've been up around 40. We're over 40 since 2016, you know, minus the pandemic 2 or 3 years. So yeah, so it's a lot easier to navigate the strip now with the pedestrian bridges, and the fact that a lot of the casinos that are owned by MGM interconnect now. Yeah, it was a mess. Yeah, so Tobin understands. A lot of times people will argue with me and tell me, oh, you know, it was just more crowded, that's why it was harder. No, the pedestrian bridges have made Vegas a lot safer to walk and travel on. You know, a lot easier to travel on. Not having to wait at a light to cross the strip, where the light cycle would be, you know, 5 to 10 minutes long, because they were giving the cars on the strip 3-4 minutes to go, a turning light, and then, you know, you had to wait. If you missed the light, you were kind of screwed. So it definitely, the pedestrian bridges and all have made things so much easier to get around Vegas. So I'm going to show you exactly how far you can get walking inside from Park MGM, except for that short little spurt between Aria and Vidara. Chi-Town girl, you agree? Yeah, so I mean, you've been coming to Vegas for a while. You know, I mean, sometimes when I'm explaining how Vegas was in the early 2000s, and I'm explaining it, and I don't want to sound old or anything right now, but, you know, people whose first trip to Vegas, they saw the Cosmo or Aria, they don't know what it was like when Cosmo and Aria weren't there. And the Cosmo was just a parking lot, and Aria was a casino called the Boardwalk, you know, and Park MGM was the Monte Carlo. And, you know, they were just finishing up building Mandalay Bay, and Bellagio just opened because it's 1999 or 98, right? And, you know, people are like, well, my first time to Vegas, it's like, well, when's the first time you went to Vegas? And they're like, 2012. You're like, well, Vegas has changed since 2000. It has changed so much that sometimes it's really hard to explain to people. All right, so let's just take a real quick little look inside again. Oh, we got a bird flying. So this is the new setup for the spring display at the Bellagio. I just put a short on earlier, right before we went live. Oh, remember the pirate show? Yep. And once the pirate show started, you couldn't get past. It was the same thing with the volcano, right? So this is pretty cool. So when you're trying to explain, you know, the dynamics of the strip and how, you know, walking on the strip was, you know, 25 years ago, 26 years ago, to people that have always known Vegas to have the crosswalks and things like that, or with people who haven't been to Vegas since the crosswalks have been installed, but still want to tell you that it was much more busier back then, but don't understand that there is no stoppage of pedestrian traffic because of the having to wait to cross the street. So you don't get the big crowds growing anymore like you did. I mean, does that make sense to you guys, or does it not make sense, right? Like, if you are walking down the street and you have to stop at a stoplight, everybody that is behind you is going to come up behind you and what's going on, man? Say, you know, you're going to get a big crowd that forms, and it's going to look like thousands of people are behind you, right? Then the light turns, you start walking, everybody disperses, right? Now, people don't really stop, so them crowds don't form. The crowds form outside of the Link, at the Promenade, over by Caesar's Forums occasionally, by Bellagio when the fountain show's going off. There are still some bottlenecks like that, but not as much as it used to be. You saw Paris when construction was just starting. Awesome. That was a sight to see, the Eiffel Tower going up for sure. And Bellagio is always crowded on the inside. So now, you guys keeping count here? I mean, how far have we walked basically inside in Vegas without being on the Strip, right? And you see how crowded it's been everywhere we've gone, right? There's been people walking with us, you know? So if half the people are on the Strip and the other half of the people are walking the same way we are, you're not going to see as many people on the Strip, which is what people gauge how busy Vegas looks, right? I mean, yeah, right. So that was pretty annoying. I'm glad that you guys are kind of agreeing that it does make a lot of sense what I'm saying, because I've tried to explain this multiple times in live streams and people just argue with it. And so this is Pinky Ring. Bruno Mars owns this bar, right? It's Pinky Ring by Bruno Mars. Now it's very exclusive and very expensive to get in there. And when you go in, you're not allowed to have your cell phone. They put them in one of them bags, so you can't take pictures and stuff like that. So it's very hard to get any kind of pictures or videos in that spot. So, Carol, no problem. I try to, hey, we try to give you guys a fun, interactive Vegas outlook, you know, that you guys have some Vegas knowledge when you come out here. But that's why we love to do our little Neon City nuggets, right? Little nuggets of information that some people don't know. A lot of people don't know, right? They're always fun, right? We'll show you somewhere and give you a little nugget. So when you're out here with your friends, you can say, hey, guess what? Did you know, blah, blah, blah. And you use one of our nuggets, right? So I'm in the process of taking all of our shorts that are Neon City Walker nuggets and putting them into a playlist. See, when I first started YouTube, I didn't really understand YouTube that well. I didn't understand how to categorize things. I didn't understand playlists and how to utilize them. So, you know, I've been posting on here for a couple months, and now I got to go back and organize my stuff. And going forward, I'm much more efficient in what I'm able to post and where it should go. So well, Chi-Town Girl, he probably does owe it, you know. You want to say hello? There we go. She was happy. She waited till the last second. I didn't know she was going to say something, and then she like smiled and waved. So she seemed like she was having fun. So yeah, you know, Bruno does owe quite a gambling debt. I'm not sure if he paid it all off, but he did at one point. So maybe he did owe them that also, right? So we're almost coming up to the end of where we can stay inside, right? So if you go down these steps right here, that's going to take you to the north side of Lake Bellagio. If you go out down this hallway, that'll take you over to the Horseshoe, the pedestrian bridge. That'll take you to Horseshoe. Or if you go out where we're going, this is going to take you to the pedestrian bridge. That's going to get you over to Caesars. Zap Guy, no problem, man. Like I said, we are constantly adding videos and giving tips and tricks and stuff like that, you know. So go ahead through. Like I said, I'm in the process of doing a lot of stuff on here, trying to organize the videos, trying to make more videos, and make it much more efficient. We want you guys to turn to us and click on our videos to find the best ways to get around Vegas. So, you know, that's our goal, basically, you know, to kind of be the go-to when you're trying to figure out how to get around Vegas. So we got some blocked off sidewalk here. They're putting that big ass sign up. We were talking about this earlier. That sign is going to be similar to that sign across the street out front of Caesars here. we were talking about this in a live stream not too long ago, and we kind of came to the conclusion that that sign is being built by Caesars to try to block some of the view of the guitar from south on the Strip. Is that true? I don't know, but it sounds good. So, well, listen, I'm gonna flip this around. I'm gonna be signing off real quick here. I want to get my phone. There we go. I gotta get my phone back on the charger. I am at like around 25% on my phone. I need my phone to get into my car. So I'm going to be working on some videos tonight to get posted tomorrow with the rest of the week. And, you know, we got some rideshare videos coming up, how to get around the ride shares, how to get from Excalibur to Mandalay Bay without being outside. And we're going to continue on with the videos to get around Vegas, beat the heat and all that stuff. So make sure you subscribe if you enjoy these types of live streams, these walks, you know, where you're not really getting a whole lot of fluff, just trying to get a lot more, give you guys a lot more information that's going to be useful for when you come to Vegas. That's our goal. So we appreciate you guys spending the afternoon with us here, and I will see you guys on the next one. I will be on tomorrow, just probably a little bit earlier. I'm going to be out for a good portion of the day. I got to bring my sunscreen tomorrow, that's for sure. So you guys have a great night, and I will see you guys on there tomorrow. All right. Yeah, Jay Tyler, I like that also, man. That's a great option that you guys can rewatch these live streams, catch the parts that you all missed. So I appreciate all the support today. Thank you guys. See you guys tomorrow.